Hello, everyone. I'm Rick Hawkins, and I want to welcome you to the Training Your Thinking podcast, day 2. By the way, if you have not purchased your book, you can do that at Amazon or Barnes& and Nobles. Just about any place you can buy a book, you can find this book. So I encourage you to purchase it so you can follow along every day. We're on day 2 of Training Your Thinking, 21 days of mental discipline. I'm joined by Joshua Reyes, and he is one of the pastors here on staff at Quest Church. He's our administrator. Josh, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me, sir.
You ever read this book?
Quite a few times.
Have you enjoyed it?
I love that book. Every single time I read it, it affects me somehow.
Good.
And I'm grateful for it.
It's a cool devotional, right?
Yes, sir.
Takes about 2-3 minutes every morning.
It's perfect because it doesn't take a lot of time, but there's a lot of insight and there's a lot of nuggets throughout each chapter. It's something you can apply every single day.
We're going to read day 2, Think with Your Imagination. This will be fun.
This will be a great one.
I have often said that we become what we imagine ourselves to be. Our focus today is on opening our thoughts to the miraculous realm of imagination. God created us in His image and after His likeness. The image of God is in relation to His form or His figure, while His likeness is described by His function. He gave form, function, and a future to everything He created. You did not ask, nor could you know how to ask about what your physical makeup would be, the color of your eyes, the shape of your nails, size of your heart, tall, short, slim, or not so slim. Everything about you was predetermined and perfectly formed by God. He created you exactly how He intended you to be. What is even more fantastic is that everything about you is a piece of Him. The mistake so many of us make is falling into the trap of trading our original image for something that was not intended. This results in us becoming a caricature and not the character God designed us to be. One definition of the word thought is the power to imagine. There is power in what you imagine. Your imagination replays your past and it preplays your future. So, your imagination is a screen and you can begin to think through what you want to display on that screen. Exercise your imagination daily. If you're like me, then you most likely had a huge imagination as a child and the screen got smaller as you grew older. I encourage you to find that place in your memory bank where you allowed yourself to dream big and begin to enlarge that screen again in your life. To see what we imagine ourselves becoming, we must have proper understanding of the image we are from. One companion to imagination is inspiration. Inspiration can cause you to believe in who you really are. It gives you the ability to see it, and it ignites a passion to fulfill it. Your imagination allows you the fabulous luxury of thinking from the end, seeing yourself at the fulfillment of your purpose and intention. And there is no stopping anyone who can think from the end. Your imagination has the power to form your future. So make a habit of spending time alone, free from distractions, and allow your mind to visualize the image of who you were created to be. These moments create opportunities for intimacy with our Creator. It is during these intimate moments that dreams are conceived and your imagination is put to work. Dare to dream. This is a day to dream. This is a day to set your imagination free and see what God will say. Well, Josh, you've heard me talk about this subject for a very long time on imagination, and I'm thinking of your son Maverick right now. Coming to the ranch. How old was he? 4?
When he first came to the ranch, he was just a little boy. Yeah.
4 or 5 years old, and he was so infatuated with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
He was consumed.
He even had the swimsuit with the big old, life vest.
He steps out of your truck. He says, and he's got this outfit on, which already tickled me, right? And he looks at me and he goes, "Hello, Pastor Rick." And I said, "Hi, Matt." And he goes, "No, I'm Spider-Man." And then he throws his web at me, and it was real to him.
It was real. He was there.
Talk to us about Mavericks Imagination. I mean, he's always been that way.
Yeah. If you ever have the privilege of meeting Maverick, and I'm biased because he's my son, and it is a privilege to meet
He's
him.
awesome kid.
His imagination is bigger than this room. From even today, he's 15 years old now. He's going to be 16, and even today, he sees himself where he believes he's going to be one day.
Yeah.
And he knows every detail. He knows every picture that's going to play. If he decides that he's on this kick, right, that he thinks he's going to be a singer, right? And so he knows what kind of guitar he's going to have, and he pictures it in his mind as he doesn't even know how to play the guitar.
I can see him right now.
And he pictures it in his mind, and it's the most amazing thing. And as a little kid, that's the way he was.
You know, as a kid, I loved the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
And that's probably before your time when they were really good and went to the Super Bowl. But Lenny Dawson was the quarterback. Otis Taylor was the wide receiver. So I get in my backyard, and I became all the players. Mm-hmm. And I would be the announcer as well. So Lenny Dawson drops back to the 20-yard line. He sees Otis Taylor sprinting down the sideline. He delivers the bomb. Mm-hmm. And then I would catch the ball as Otis Taylor, run to the end zone, throw the ball down, spike the ball, and do my dance.
I did the same thing with the Mets.
Oh, I can imagine.
I knew every batting stance.
Imagination is so powerful. And I think, Josh, religion has just really hurt us in this whole, we've always been taught through the modes of religiosity that be careful with your imagination. And it all comes from that one scripture in 2 Corinthians that says, cast down imaginations and every thought, but we don't finish what it says, that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. Well, then that tells me that there are imaginations that tend to let us learn more and know more about God. I found out this, the more I know about me and my imagination, the more I understand my Father, right?
Yes.
And God has great intentions for us, and I know your imagination is huge as well. Talk to us about some concepts concerning imagination.
Well, a couple things what you just said. The more I know me, the more I know the Father. One of the things we read in the chapter today, Pastor Ricky wrote this, what is even more fantastic is that everything about you is a piece of him.
Yeah.
That's awesome, because we were made in his image.
Right.
We were made in his image. And what happens is we lose sight of that concept as a whole.
Yeah.
Because life is busy.
True.
Or people are communicating to us or telling us what we are and what we're not. Or just the adversity of the day or the trouble or whatever. Yeah. We lose sight of the fact that God gave us his image. He made us in his image and his likeness. Mm-hmm. If that's true, then the same creativity, the same intention,
right?
Because he operates out of intention, the same power and the same ability to form is inside of us.
That's powerful, man. So imagination really is a concept of creativity.
That's right.
Right? So you can't create anything, but you can be creative through your imagination. I can't tell you how many times that I've been on my way to a church service where I'm preaching, and I imagine what it's going to be like. And the times that I've done that, guess what? It turned out just like I imagined it to be. But when I don't go to the movie, right, your imagination is the screen that you play your dreams out on, right? When I refuse to go look at that screen, then I have to operate through whatever comes to me. I have to function there. But I really do believe that God has given us the luxury, I call it the luxury of thinking, imagination. And it's fun.
What you say, you've been saying this since I was a kid. Your imagination replays your past and it pre-plays your future. Yeah. And we're habitual creatures. That's we have habits. And too often we dwell on the past. So we're watching reruns nonstop.
Wow.
And it's our past, and it drives us into this cycle of depression because we're using our imagination in a faulty way.
Yeah.
When really It does have that function. You are
Right.
supposed to replay your past because there's something to draw from it. But there's also that pre-play your future. I think of sports, and our coach used to make us sit in the locker room, and it was quiet. He wouldn't let any music.
Right.
If you wanted to put on your headphones, you could. But the whole idea was lights were off. You were sitting in your locker room, and you were looking at what was going to happen in that game.
Wow.
You were running through the game plan.
Wow.
You were making each cut. You were visualizing the game so that when you got there, it was natural to you.
Yeah.
That's what your imagination is for.
I love it, man. So we need to stop playing reruns,
That's right.
you know, and start looking at the previews,
Yes,
right?
sir.
When I go to the movie, I tell everyone, I cannot stand to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to the movie and I miss all the previews of the coming movies, right? I know people that like to get to the movie just in time for the movie
Yeah,
that they
no,
pay
not
for
me.
to start, and you get your popcorn.
I
and stuff.
agree with that.
But man, I like to get there early and watch all the previews. And you know, I encourage you to take time and watch some previews this week. Get alone, sit by yourself, maybe with a cup of coffee, your Bible. Close your eyes and look at the previews of your future. Your future is bright. Can you imagine that? Imagination is so powerful in Genesis 11 that God was impressed with it.
Whew.
Remember that?
Yep.
He said they can build anything they imagine themselves to build. Let your imagination run free today and use it to build something for the glory of God.